Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Elena and I am a Swedish artist and illustrator who likes to make art with flowers and draw cute animals and stuff like that. And this YouTube channel is someplace I will be sharing my process and my thoughts about my art. So welcome! I have already made a few videos a few months ago, and some are a few years old, but here I am again making a video, so hi, welcome! Today we're going to do an art recap, which is when I'm going to recap what I've been making for the past few weeks. Talk about what I like and don't like about the art and what I enjoyed making it and what I feel like I should have changed if I would have, or what I would have changed if I would have made it today. I had a really productive phase during summer. I made so much art every single day and I drew all the time. And then as soon as autumn hit, I just lost the energy. I lost the motivation. I didn't want to draw. I didn't want to make anything. And during August, I was really excited to participate in Peachtober this year. Since last year I couldn't, since I was having an RSI in my wrist and couldn't draw at all. I ended up just doing a few of the Peachtober prompts, which was good. It's always good to make art even if you don't make it in the perfect way. However, by the end of the month, my creative energy started to come back and I started to make pieces I really enjoyed and liked, and that's why I've decided to start this recap there, at the end of Peachtober, which is a bit weird. Maybe it would have been better to make one video about all the Peachtober pieces, but there aren't too many of them, so I'm just gonna start with the ones I really like. Also, I don't want this video to be 2 hours long. That's a bit much. We start off with one of my favorite pieces I think I've made ever. Maybe I have a new favorite now since a few days, but I still really like this piece. It was for the prompt Submarine, which was a bit of a challenge for me since I've never really made an underwater piece or drawn a submarine ever. And I looked at a few references and looked at how people draw submarines in different ways. And I made this piece and I decided to make them travel through flowers instead of water because it felt more me. And I just really enjoyed the whimsical nature of this piece and the bright colors and energy in it and the cute little animals looking out of the windows. And I'm really proud of this one, and I really like the way it turned out and the textures and everything about it. This was made in Procreate mostly, but was tweaked in Photoshop at the end. Next piece is for the Peachtober prompt Orange, where I decided to make this little pumpkin person and a ghost. It was nearing Halloween. I think it was the day before Halloween. And I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I wanted to make something to celebrate it anyway and do something spooky for it, even though I don't really love spooky things. But I think this turned out really cute. I love the two characters I made for this, and I loved them the instant I had sketched them. And I was just so happy with them. And I think when I finished the sketch, I was really excited because I was feeling like this was going to turn out great. And there's something about the way I've shaded it and the colors and everything that I don't feel really ties it together in the way I wanted it to. I think it looks a bit messy in a way, and while the characters are cute, I don't think the surroundings are great or very well made. But I still really like it, and I still really like the sketch of these two characters together because they're just cute. And then I had some fun playtime in my digital sketchbook that I have, which is just a file with a picture of a sketchbook that I draw on top of and add a paper texture on top of everything in Procreate. I don't like how this looks at all, but I think I wanted to include it anyway, since that's just the way it is sometimes. You can't make perfect things all the time. I almost do, but I like the colors and I like the idea. I made a similar piece a while back and I just made another version of it to have fun, but I don't enjoy the way it looks. And then I suddenly wanted to try making a paper cut collage look in my art digitally. I don't think I fully succeeded in this Goose one. It was the first time I was trying it, and I don't think the paper textures really turned out the way I wanted them to, nor the shadows. But I really like these two little characters, and the Goose is like a reoccurring character. I've drawn him once before on this channel even, and his little frog friend is just so cute, and they look at each other and they're oh. And then here's when the collage look really came together. This is the first one which I really felt like, oh yeah, this is gonna work. I tried to keep the shapes kind of simple and like graphic and like big and not too detailed, as that's what you have to do if you're cutting paper. You can't like make tiny things. Well, you can maybe, but I wouldn't make that because I don't have the patience. Also, by the way, this is my most liked art piece ever. This has more than 10,000 likes on Twitter. For this, I just blocked out the shapes in Procreate, and then I added a wrinkled paper texture and shadows and these white highlights in Photoshop. The wrinkled paper texture I used was just from Unsplash, which is a great resource for textures, reference pictures, and anything which is free to use for like whatever really, but yeah. And then we have my third collage looking piece, which is this like little piece with these houses in front of a few plants. And I kind of like this, but I kind of think it looks a bit sad. I don't know what it is. It's weird because it's like flowers and cute houses and they're bright colors, but there's something about the small houses that look like they're deserted or like, what's it called? Anyway, I can't think of the word, but like they haven't been inhabited in a really long time and are kind of run down. And I think that there's something about the big dark windows on the two back houses that just looks like it doesn't look fun. So I was initially making this to have as my 10,000 follower draw this in your style on Instagram, because I recently hit 10,000 followers on there, yay. And in the end I just felt like this wasn't the right fit. So instead I made this piece with the sunflowers and the little houses again, but on top of a sunflower. And I really like this piece. I think the texture looked gorgeous, and I love the way it's autumnal while still having flowers, and the concept is just cute. I was thinking when I was making this that I wanted to make a draw this in your style that was kind of like conceptual more than just like flowers, because I feel like that's easier to interpret in your style if there's like a concept you can reinterpret rather than, oh, I drew like this flower, if you get what I mean. I think that's why character draw this in your styles are so popular. I really struggled with this piece where I was gonna place the text for my like draw this in your style info, because I like when there's info in the image, not just in the caption. I feel like it's clearer that this is a draw this in your style when people just see it. But I struggled so much with where to put it, but in the end I put it on top of the cloud like this, and I really like it. And then we have some fervor oh my god. And then we have some further experimentation with this collage style that I was trying out. I wanted to make a simple piece just to further like refine the technique. I made several different versions of this piece, but I like this green one the best. I made a purple one as well, and I made a few where like the background looked like it was on top of the flower instead of the flower being on top of the background, but it just ended up looking dark and like muddy, and I didn't like it at all. And then around this time I was reminded that oh gosh. And around this time I was reminded that Folktale Week was around the corner in November. Oh gosh. I just had the biggest realization that it's already November. Ooh. Anyway, Folktale Week, God, that's hard to say. Folktale Week is a week-long prompt list which is supposed to be inspired by folk tales around the world, I think, but that isn't like, you don't have to make an interpretation of a specific folk tale or anything. There are many ways to interpret this challenge. And I wanted to participate because I love participating in these kinds of challenges. I feel like I made some of my best work when I've had a prompt list, because it just forces me and pushes me outside of my comfort zone and makes me think of new ideas and new concepts. I decided to make up a concept or a little story for this where I used the Scandinavian or Nordic, I don't really know, like we have it in Sweden at least, folklore concept of the tomte, which is a small a man with a beard and a little hat who like walks around at night and takes care of the farm and the family and protects them and stuff like that. For my concept, however, the tomte was busy and this little bird had to take over and had to like borrow the little hat and everything and take care of the farm for a little while. I wanted this to be like festive and Christmassy, but a lot of people commented and like, oh my gosh, this is so autumnal and cozy, and I was like, no, it's winter. But yeah, I didn't succeed with the winter feel in all of them, I think. For the first image I made, which was actually the second image I posted, which was for the first prompt, which was moon. And it was this little drawing or collage thing where the little bird was running towards the farm there where they were supposed to work for a while. Oh my god, my battery is running low. I need to hurry up. And then after that, I actually made the little poster thing for I'm joining Folktale Week, where I just put the little bird with a little flower and he looks so cute in this one. For this I worked out the shapes in Procreate, and I sketched and then I blocked out the shapes, and then I brought it into Photoshop where I added the shadows and the textures. There's such a difference between the Procreate original and the Photoshop like textured version in these, like how they look. It's so different since the original ones don't have any shading at all. They just tend to look quite flat and boring in comparison, in my opinion at least. And then I made a few more pieces for Folktale Week with this little character, but quickly I just ended up like not liking the technique anymore and not liking the concept anymore. I don't know what happened, but suddenly I just didn't want to make any more of it at all. So I stopped after a few days and didn't finish it, but I still kind of like the drawings I made. I feel differently about the different ones. They just don't feel very interesting to me. There isn't a lot of detail or like texture in the way I like, with like pencil marks and stuff like that. And I kind of grew bored of the like wrinkled paper. And I think I will revisit this technique in the future in different ways. But right now I feel more excited about traditional drawing. Before I stop that in the middle of Folktale Week, God, I really can't say that. Folktale Week, I ordered some air dry clay to make some Christmas tree decorations, like flat ones that I was gonna paint, and I wanted to sketch some ideas for it, and I did so, and I drew two cats and a bird, little tomte bird, and a few other shapes that I would like to make as Christmas tree decorations. But also I made them into the collage look because I was obsessed at the time. And then we're nearing present day. Yay, we're almost done. Maybe that's not the way I should what I should focus on this video, that it's almost done. We're having so much fun. Yay. Anyway, my work kind of suddenly changed after I saw one reel, which has never happened to me before, that it just like changed like that. Actually, maybe with a collage just a few days earlier. But anyway, I saw Ruth Hammond's reel where she painted like this big blob and put the texture and shading on top of it, and then that just erased the shape out of it that she wanted. And this inspired me so much I had to go try it right away, and I made these mushrooms in my digital sketchbook. It's just so satisfying to do this. I will show some video of me doing this, like the Procreate screen capture thing. But it's such a clever idea and I love it, and I love like layering little pencil marks on top of it because I just love pencil marks so much. Ruth Hammond's reel is linked below if you want to check it out and like learn a little bit or see the process that inspired me. After this I wanted to make something Christmassy, and I wanted to make hellebores, which is a Christmas or winter flower. They ended up looking quite a lot like amaryllis, which is a Christmas flower at least here in Sweden, so I don't really mind, but I think I need to practice drawing from reference more because I was just like taking liberties too much for it to actually look like the actual flower in the end, because amaryllis doesn't have these leaves and neither does hellebores. I just wanted to make these leaves. Anyway, I'm so proud of the texture in this and the like shading and the look of it, and it looks so like dainty and refined and just so nice. I'm just so happy with this. I was so excited when I was making it. And yeah, I also tried this out with a dark background, but I ended up not loving it. I thought it was what I was gonna go for the longest time when I had the two versions. But in the end, when I started looking at the dark one with a white background on like Instagram and stuff, I was like, no, this is too stark or like contrasty, and no, I didn't like it. And then I have one more thing to show you, and that is Goose, which this is my actual favorite piece I've made, I think, ever, at least right now, but it changes all the time, as you may know, but I love this one so much. I use a color palette that Lee Ellickson used in one of her recent sketchbook pages, and it's like this turquoise and orange and pinks, and it's just so gorgeous, and I loved using it in this. I also really love the way the textures look in this. I'm a sucker for textures, but these just look kind of more refined and like dainty and small and not as coarse. Is that the right word? No one knows. And I really like these few, like the 3 last pieces I've shown you here, and the way they look with the like thin pencil marks for the leaves. It just looks so, I don't know, I can't like come up with good words for it, but I really like how it looks. And I'm really happy with how my art is growing at the moment, and it's just the best feeling. So that's what I've been up to creatively lately. Creativity is always a bit of a roller coaster. You have your ups and downs, and the downs can be pretty bad and frustrating, but the ups are so good. And I think it's important to remember that the downs are also important and bring you forward, even though it doesn't feel like it. I hope you've enjoyed hearing me chat about my art for a little bit and what I've been making. I'm generally so excited I can draw it all. I had this RSI in my right wrist for almost a year, where I couldn't draw at all, and I had to get surgery and everything like that. It was so bad, and I just feel so happy I can draw. It's just the best. I also tweeted this the other day, but I'm just so proud that I took this leap into drawing a few years ago. It was like 2-3 years ago maybe, and I hadn't been drawing since I was a kid basically, and I had been so scared of it because I didn't feel like I was good enough and everything like that. And I've just seen so big like improvements for me since then in like a pretty short period of time. And I'm just so proud that I faced my fears and did it anyway. And even though I was so scared to share it, and even though I was so scared to share it on my main account where I was sharing very different stuff before this, and right now I feel like I'm making the best stuff I ever have, and I'm so proud of what I'm making. And I'm so excited to see what I'm gonna make in the future, because like it's only going up from here, which is amazing. I'm just so excited. Yay! And I'm so excited to film this video with you. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you can have some nice creativity for you moving forward, and have some nice times. Have a nice like end of the year, relaxed, have fun. And if you want, please leave a comment down below of something you've made recently that you're proud of, like telling me about it and what you made and how you liked it and everything like that. And we can celebrate creativity together a little bit. Now my battery is running out, so I really need to end this. Goodbye.